All fours position then. We're going to start off with an exercise called cat mobility. Okay, so if you've done a bit of Pilates before, chances are you've come across this one. So it's just a nice one to warm the spine up, just to get us started. Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up. I've got my towel rolled up with my heel and my hands on, only because I've got a bit of a funny wrist. It's just more comfortable for me like that. You can have your hands flat on the mat if that's what you're used to, that's fine. Okay, so we've got hands under shoulders, the knees are under the hips. We want to be looking down at the mat. So we've got the back of the neck nice and straight. We don't want the head to drop. The shoulders are down. And then most importantly now, we're going to engage those abdominals. So draw the abdominals in a little bit and make sure you've just got a little bit of a curve in the lower back. Okay, we're going to go into our cat mobility. Shall I show you the first one so everyone's clear what they're doing? So what we're going to do from here is tuck the tailbone under, tuck the head under, and arch the back up and over as much as we can. And then we're going to come all the way back down to our starting position again. Shall we have a little go? So here we go. Let's take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you can tuck the tailbone under, tuck the head under, arch the back up and over as much as you can, and then breathing in, we come back down to that starting position. Wonderful. Here we go again. So breathing out, tucking the tailbone under, tucking the head under, arch back up and over as much as you can, and then as you breathe in, we come back to that starting position. Wonderful. Let's do a couple more. So when you come back to your starting position, make sure that you bring your shoulders down with you. So draw the shoulders down, keeping them away from the ears. And remember to have that nice straight neck at the end as well. Here we go again. So we breathe out. We tuck the tailbone under. We arch the back up and over. Wonderful. That's looking very nice. And then we'll come all the way back down to neutral. Wonderful. From here, we're going to come back into a shell stretch. So we're just going to sit back towards the feet, reach the arms forward. Have a little breather for a second. And then we're going to roll ourselves all the way back up to sitting. Fabulous. Okay. Shall I show you the next one? So we're going to go back into our all fours position. This time we're going to thread the needle, so it's another nice one to warm that spine up with. So you're going to take one hand, you're going to feed it through the middle. I'm keeping my hand quite close to the floor. I'm going to reach through as far as I can, but I'm bending that supporting elbow. And then I'm just going to bring it all the way back to my starting position. Shall we have a little go at that one? So we want the same setup again. Nice long neck at the back. In neutral, abdominals are engaged. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to start with my left hand. Here we go. So we'll take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to feed that left hand through. Breathe through as far as you can, and then as you breathe in, we'll bring that hand back. Let's do it with the right hand. So breathing out, feeding that hand through the middle. Keep going. Just going to have a little look, and then come back to your starting position. And then off we go again, feeding that hand through. Bend the supporting elbow a little bit if you want to. Okay, it gives you a bit more reach. And it also works the back of the arms quite nicely as well. Here we go. Should we do one more? Here we go. Breathing out. Reach the arm through as far as you can. And then bring it all the way back to that starting position. Fabulous. Let's come back into shell stretch. Nice big reach with the arms again. And then we'll come all the way back up to sitting. Wonderful. Okay. The legs then this time. Back in our all fours position again. So let's set ourselves up again. Okay. Same position. Hands under shoulders, shoulders are down, abdominals engaged. Okay, this time we're going to do swimming legs. We're going to take one leg out, slide it out and take it up to hip height. Slide it back in. Here we go, on the other leg. So we slide the leg away, take it up to hip height and then bring it back down. And again, breathing out, slide the leg away and bring it back down. Fabulous. Now, when you take that leg out, keep it nice and straight, but make sure it only goes to about hip height. Don't try and lift the leg too high because you might start to lose that neutral position. Okay, so leg goes out nice and straight, and then it comes back in. Wonderful. Keep the shoulders down really well. Keep looking down at the mat. Don't look up in front. Don't want to hurt the neck. So keep looking down at the mat. Wonderful. Should we just do two more? Here we go. Breathing out. Straighten out the leg. And return with the last one. Straighten out the leg. And return. Fabulous. Sit back into shell stretch. Reach the arms forward again. Wonderful. Let's come back up to sitting. Okay, so have a little look at this one. What we're going to do now, we're going to do swimming legs again, but we're going to add in the cat mobility exercise. That was the first one we did. So just have a little look. We're going to do swimming legs first. So we'll take one leg out nice and straight. Now this time we're going to bring the knee into the chest, and as we do it, we're going to drop the head and we're going to arch the back up and over like we're going into our cat. From there, we're just going to take the legs straight out again, drawing the shoulders down nicely. Then bring the knee back in again, drop the head, arch the back up and over again. Okay, so we're going to see if we can put those two exercises together. So let's have a little go, shall we? Make sure you're nicely set up. Engage those abdominals. Keep those shoulders down. Shall we start with the right leg? Let's do that one first, shall we? So we're going to swimming legs first. So nice and steady on this one. We don't want to rush it. So here we go. Let's take the right leg out, up to hip height. That's it. Okay, now let's bring the knee into the chest. Drop the head down. Arch the back up and over as much as you can. And then as you breathe in, straighten out the leg again. Draw the shoulders down. And then off we go again. Breathing out. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Drop the head down. Breathe in, lengthen out the leg, lengthen through the spine, shoulders down again. Off we go again. Breathing out, bring the knee in, drop the head down, arch the back up and over. Breathing in as you lengthen out the leg. Should we do one more time? Here we go. Breathing out, bring the knee in, arch the back up and over. And then lengthen out the leg. Wonderful. Slide that leg in. Take the left leg out. Here we go again. So as you breathe out, we'll bring the knee in, drop the head down, arch the back up and over, and then we'll straighten out the leg, lengthen out through the spine, shoulders are down, looking down at the mat. Here we go again. Bring the knee in, arch the back up and over, and then lengthen out through the body, keeping those shoulders down well. Wonderful, that's looking really good. Here we go, bring the knee in again, arch the back up and over. Fabulous. Should we just do it one more time? Here we go. Breathing out. Bring the knee in. Arch the back up and over. And then lengthen out to finish. And then slide that leg back in. Wonderful. Sit back into shell stretch. Nice big reach with those arms. Fabulous. Okay, let's come back up to sitting. Okay, so that was a nice, fairly easy warm-up, wasn't it, to get the spine nice and warm. So let's start to challenge you a little bit more now as we come into our side lying position. So this is where you're going to need something to support your head. So if you've got a couple of extra towels handy, a cushion, I've got a yoga block, anything like that will do, okay? Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up in side lying. The head comes down. We're going to have the arms out in front, and we're going to have the legs bent, okay? So with the knees bent, your feet are roughly in line with the spine, okay? And then we've still got to think about engaging through the center. So when we're in side lying, I always suggest sort of putting your hand at the top of your hip and then pushing that top hip away as you engage through the abdominals. So you're creating some space between the ribs and the hips there. Creates a little bit of lift underneath. And then once you've engage through the center. Hopefully you can stay in that nice position. Okay, so I've got the arms out in front. They're nice and relaxed at the moment. We're going to start off with the basic climb and then we'll build it up a little bit. So we're going to keep the feet together and open out the knees. So we're going to take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, we're going to open out that top knee. And then breathing in as they come back together. And again, breathing out. Open out the top knee. And then breathe in as they come back together. Wonderful. Okay, let's keep that going. Wonderful. Now, on this one, just check what your pelvis is doing. Okay, you want to keep your pelvis completely still on this one. So you can always put your hand at the top on the top hip there if you want to check. Okay, and make sure that nothing is moving. Okay, so keep the pelvis still. So it doesn't matter if the knee doesn't open out very much, that's okay. It's more important to keep that pelvis nice and still. Wonderful. Should we make this the last one? Fabulous. Okay, let's move that on a little bit this time. So what we're going to do this time, let's open out the knee. Hold it there for a second. Okay, now can you straighten out the leg from there? Straighten out. Fabulous. Okay, bend the knee. Bring the feet together first, and then the knees come together. Wonderful. Off we go again. So we're going to open the knee and straighten the leg. Feet come together, knees come together. And again, let's open and straighten, feet together, knees together. Wonderful. Let's do a few more. So again, keeping the pelvis nice and still. Really straighten that leg as it goes out. Give the front of the thigh a little squeeze. Nice straight legs. Here we go again. Straighten it out. Feet together, knees together. Here we go. Last one. Let's open and straighten, feet together, knees together. Wonderful. Let's bring that top leg up into our rest position for a second, just to release those muscles that we've been working a little bit. Wonderful. Okay, bring the legs back together. Okay, we're going to push ourselves up this time onto the elbow. Okay, so this time we're going to set up with the elbow directly underneath the shoulder. Now that's really important because if you've got your elbow out there, it's going to make the next exercise quite tricky. Okay, so make sure it's underneath the elbow underneath the shoulder. Okay, so you're nicely supported. Now I've still got the knees bent. My feet are still roughly in line with the spine. My knees are in front of me. We're going to keep them there. Okay, so we're going to do a side bend. So let me show you the side bend. We're going to start with the arm out. We're going to lift the hips up and we're going to send the arm up and over the top. And then we're going to come back down. Okay? Now, before we start, it's really important on this one that you make sure that you're lifted through the center and you're nicely supported. So I want you to get your free hand and I want you to put it under your ribs. Now, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, feel like you're engaging the abdominals and use that hand to lift the ribs just a little bit away from the mat. So you feel like you're lifting out of the mat. Make sure the shoulders are down and then take that free arm out to the side. Now, when you come back down onto the mat in a second, you've got to come back to this position. Don't collapse into the mat, okay? Stay nicely lifted. Here we go. Let's take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we'll lift the hips. We'll send the arm up and over the top, and then breathe in as you come back down. Fabulous. Off we go again. Breathing out. Lift and reach with the arm, and then breathe in to lower. Wonderful. And again, breathing out to lift and reach with the arm, and then come back down. Wonderful. And again, keep going. I'm just going to have a little look. Breathe out, lift and reach with the arm. Fabulous. Keep the legs together. Keep your knees together as you go up and over. Okay, here we go. Here's the last one. Breathe out, lift and reach. And then come back down. Fabulous. Let's just push ourselves up to sitting. It's nice just to roll the shoulders round a little bit after we've done a bit of sideline work. Right, stay where you are. Watch the next one. So we're going to build on what we've just done. We're going to lift the hips, but we're going to add in the clam as well this time. Now, this one is quite challenging, so I'm going to show you an alternative first, okay? You can come back to the position that you've just been in, and you can do the clam, which is the first side lying exercise we did, where you open out the knee. So you can see I'm keeping the hips down on the mat, okay? If you want to work a little bit harder with me, I think we'll have that hand on the hip. We're going to lift the hips out of the mat, so you stay lifted, and then you do the clam, okay? So you've got two choices on this one, an easy one or a more challenging one. I'll leave it up to you which one you do. But before you start, make sure that you lift the ribs, engage through the center, and keep those shoulders down. Okay, decide which one you're doing. If you're doing the harder one, lifting the hips, hand on the hip there. Here we go. We'll take a breath in. We'll breathe out. We'll lift the hips up first. Hold it there for a breath in. Now breathe out. Open out the knee and return. And again, breathe out. Open and return. Breathe out. Open and return. Now, if you've got the hips lifted, you're finding it's a bit too challenging, just bring the hips down onto the mat. That's fine. Can we do two more? Breathe out and open and close. Last one. Let's open and close. Wonderful. Lower the hips down. Push yourself back up again. Give the shoulders a little roll around. Fabulous. Okay, so now you know what we're doing in side lying. Get your head support and let's turn over and do it on the other side. Okay, so make sure you're lying on the other side. Exactly the same again. So we want that nice side lying setup again. So your head's supported again with your arms out in front. The feet are in line with the spine again. I've got my knees bent. I'm going to push that top hip away. Lift out of the mat a little bit. Make sure I've got my abdominals engaged. Okay, are we all ready? Simple clam then to start with. Here we go. Let's take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let's open out the knee. And then bring them back together. And again, breathe out. Open out the knee. And bring them back together. And again, wonderful. Let's open the knee. And close. Breathe out to open. And close. Fabulous. So again, just be aware of the pelvis. Keep it nice and still. Make sure it's not moving. Okay, we just want the movement from the hip joints. We don't want to let the pelvis roll backwards. Wonderful. Two more. Here we go. Let's open and close. Let's open. Shall we add in a straight leg on the next one? Here we go. So we'll open the knee again. Then we'll straighten the leg. Feet come together. Knees come together. And again, so we open and straighten. Feet together. Knees together. Let's open and straighten. Feet together. Knees together. Let's open and straighten. Feet together. Knees together. Here we go. Last one. Open and straighten. Wonderful. Okay, let's bring that leg up into our rest position again. Fabulous. Doing really well. Okay, so we're going to come back onto the elbow then this time. So we'll bring the legs together first. And then we'll push ourselves up onto the elbow again. So we've got elbow directly underneath the shoulder again. The feet are still roughly in line with the spine. My knees are forward. We want to make sure we're well set up through the center. So get that free hand again. And when you breathe out, draw the abdominals in. Lift the ribs away from the mat again. Make sure you keep the shoulders down. Free arm goes out to the side. We're going to lift the hips to send the arm over the top. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll lift and reach the arm. And then bring them all the way back down. And again, breathe out. Lift and reach the arm. And then bring it all the way down. Wonderful. And again, so nice and controlled on the lowering. Okay, nice and steady if you come back onto the mat. And just watch you're not collapsing as you come down. Stay nice and lifted through the body each time. That's it. Breathe out to lift. And lower. Last one. Let's lift. And lower. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to do the lift with the clam legs, or you can stay on the mat and do clam legs. If you're lifting the hips up on this one, we'll have that hand on the top hip Here we go then. Take a breath in, breathe out, lift the hips up, hold it there for a breath in. Breathe out. Let's open the knee and close the knee. Breathe out, open the knee and close the knee. Wonderful. Keep the shoulders down well. Still want that lift through the ribs. Keep that belt on, that's it. Breathe out, lift and return. Wonderful. Two more. Lift and return. Last one. Let's lift and return. Wonderful. Lower the hips down. Push yourself back to sitting. Roll those shoulders round. Fabulous. Did really well. Okay. Shall we change position? Okay, so this time we're just going to lie on our back. So if you feel like you need something under your head, this is when you can use your towel. Okay. So we'll start off with shoulder bridge. Hopefully you've all done shoulder bridge before. Okay, so we'll do that one first and then we'll add a few bits and pieces into it. Okay, so we want a nice setup for this one in this position. So make sure that you're in a neutral position with a very slight curve in the lower back. The feet and knees are hip width. Remember on this one, the further you have your feet away from you, the more challenging it becomes. Okay, so the closer in they are, the easier it is. So I'll leave it up to you where you want your feet. Arms down by the side of you, shoulders nice and relaxed. Here we go, simple basic shoulder bridge to start with. So we're going to take a breath in to prepare. And then as you breathe out, we're going to flatten the waist, lift the hips, and peel the spine up off the mat. Take a nice deep breath in at the top, and then as you breathe out, we'll slowly lower the spine all the way back down again. Wonderful. Let's do that again. So here we go. Breathing out, flatten the waist, lift the hips, peel the spine up off the mat. Nice deep breath in at the top. Squeeze your bum. Make sure you keep the hips up well. And then breathing out, we'll come all the way back down. Wonderful. Okay, here we go again. Breathing out, flatten the waist, lift the hips, peel the spine up. And then breathing out, we'll come all the way back down again. Should we just do it one more time? Here we go. Peel that spine like sellotape up off the mat. And then as you come back down, stick it back down. Stick the sellotape back down onto the mat. Wonderful. Okay. So once you're back down in your neutral position, make sure that belt is on. You're engaging through the center. We're going to bring our legs up into a double tabletop position this time. So one leg at a time. Bring one leg up, then bring the other leg up. So we want feet and knees slightly apart. You should ideally have the knees somewhere over the hips. Okay, so from here, we're just going to do some little taps with the toe down onto the mat, okay? Make sure you don't arch that lower back on this one. Keep the abdominals pulled in really well. So here we go. We'll take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, we'll tap one toe and then bring it back up. Breathe out, tap the other toe and bring it back up. Breathe out, tap and return. Breathe out, tap and return. Wonderful. Now, if you start to get tired through the center, just bring the knees in a little bit closer. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier. You can do that if you need to. Okay, here we go. Breathe out, let's tap and return. Breathe out, tap and return. Wonderful. Couple more. Wonderful. That's it. That's looking good. Wonderful. Here we go. Last one. Tap and return. Wonderful. Just hug the knees into the chest for a second. Have a quick little release. Okay. Put the feet back down onto the mat. So from here, I'll show you the next one, shall I? We're going to come back to double tabletop. This time, we're going to straighten out the legs. So we're going to take the legs out to about 45 degrees. So not too low to the floor. We don't want them really low, and we don't want them high up in the air either. Somewhere in the middle. So make sure you're engaging through the center before you bring those legs back up into double tabletop. Let's bring them back up. That's it. Wonderful. Feet and knees hip width apart again. Arms relaxed by the side. Here we go. Let's do the left leg first. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, straighten out the left leg and return. Breathe out, straighten the right leg and return, and again, straight on the left, and return, straight on the right, and return. Keep the abdominals pulled in really well. Don't let those abdominals pop out. Don't let them dome. Keep everything pulled in really well. Feel like you're sucking the navel down towards the mat. Wonderful. Here we go. 2 more. Breathe out, straighten, and return. Breathe out, straighten, and return. Wonderful. Hug the knees back into the chest. Wonderful. Pop the feet back down. Right, let's have a little breather from that abdominal work. Let's go back into our shoulder bridge, but this time we'll add in some arms. So make sure you're nicely set up again. You're in neutral to start with. We're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to flatten the waist, lift the hips, and this time we're going to send the arms up and overhead with us. So send the arms back as far as you can. Nice deep breath in, and then breathing out, let's come all the way back down onto the mat. Wonderful. Here we go again. Breathing out, lift the hips, peel the spine, sellotape off the mat. Arms go up and overhead. Nice deep breath in to hold. And then breathing out, we come all the way back down again. Wonderful. Let's do a couple more. Breathing out, peel the spine up. And then lower it back down. Really nicely down into the mat, finishing in neutral at the end. Let's just do that one more time. Here we go. Peel the spine up. Keep the hips nicely lifted at the top. Wonderful. And then come all the way back down. Fabulous. Okay. So this time we're going to do some curl-ups. Okay. So we're going to have the hands behind the head. So I want you to interlock your fingers first of all. And then place your hands behind your head. Okay, now we want the elbows nice and wide. We need them to stay out there. So whenever we do curl-ups, we want to make sure that we've got the head resting heavy in the hands. We don't want to pull on the head. So keep those elbows out to the side and just let the head rest in the hands. Now, we're not just going to do basic curl-ups. We're going to do it with the legs that we've just done, okay, from our double tabletop position. So the first one we're going to do was the little taps onto the floor. So each time you tap the toe this time, you're going to curl up. Okay, you do a tap and you do a curl. Okay, should we have a little go at that one first? So the hands are in position. We bring the legs up. Abdominals are engaged. Wonderful. Here we go. Let's take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, we'll curl the head up. We'll tap the toe and then return. Other leg. We tap the toe and return. Here we go. So we curl and tap and return. Curl and tap and return. Wonderful. Wonderful. Breathe out, curl. Breathe in to return. Breathe out, curl. Breathe in to return. Last one. Breathe out, curl and return. Wonderful. Should we hug the knees in just for a second? Hug them in. Wonderful. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's bring the feet back down onto the mat. So can we do another set of curl-ups? But this time, every time you curl up, you're going to straighten out the leg. Okay, so we're going to add those legs in this time. So interlock the fingers again. Hands behind the head. Make sure that you're nicely engaged through the center again. Bring those legs back up into double tabletop. Are we ready? Here we go. Let's take a breath in. And as you breathe out, straighten one leg and curl and return. Curl and straighten and return. Curl and straighten and return. Breathing out, breathing in. How are we doing? Keep it going. Keep the abdominals pulled in really well. Let's do 2 more. Breathe out, curl and return. Breathe out, curl and return. Wonderful. Hug the knees into the chest. Fabulous. Okay, bring the feet back down to the mat. Let's do shoulder bridge again, just to finish this little sequence off with, shall we? So set yourself up ready for that one. Arms back down by the side. We'll add those arms in again, shall we? I quite like those, they're quite nice. So here we go, let's take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, we're going to peel the spine up again. Send the arms up and over the top. Hold it for breath in. And then breathing out, let's bring the arms all the way back down as we lower the spine. Wonderful. Off we go again. Breathing out, peel the spine up. Make sure you keep the hips well lifted as you hold that position. And then breathing out, we come all the way down again. Wonderful. Should we do a couple more? Here we go. Breathing out. Peel the spine up off the mat like sellotape. Breath into hold at the top. And then come all the way back down. Wonderful. We're going to do one more. Here we go. Breathing out. Peel the spine up. And then bring it all the way back down. Fabulous. Let's finish with a full body release. So this time we're going to straighten out both legs. Send the arms overhead. Have a nice stretch through the length of the body. Wonderful. Relax the arms back down by the side of you. Bring the knees, bend the knees again. Bring the feet back in. The arms are resting down by the side. Let's just relax on the mat for a second. Let's just take a nice couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, breathing in through the nose and out. Wonderful. When you're ready, let's roll onto our side. Push yourself back up to sitting.